Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another discussion video. In today's video, I want to go over the green Gotenks stuff in set 11. This is probably the deck I'm most hyped about now that we've gotten the full red and full green spoilers. So stay tuned as we talk about it. Guys, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss a video. If you want to help the channel out, there are tons of ways down in the description to do so. Check out the Patreon, the Gemmy app for your one-on-one coaching with yours truly, as well as your crossfit competitive articles. If you guys need sleeves, deck boxes, binders, anything like that, check out extra protection down below. And finally, if you want to buy or pre-order any Dragon Ball Super cards, make sure you use my link to TCG Player. That being said, let's get started with the leader. So we have Gotenks. This is a Gotenks, like I guess in the game it's called regular Gotenks, but basically Kid Gotenks. So he works well with all the previous green Gotenks support we've gotten in the past, including Goku and the Grim Reaper of Justice from Anniversary Box 2020, and the heroic expansion cards from all the way back to set 2. So I'm pretty excited to play around with those cards again. Gotenks, when this card attacks, draw 1. Awaken, relies 4 or less. You have a green Unison in play with specified cost of 2. You may draw 1 card, untap an energy, and add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 left, then flip over. So similar to the red Vegeta leader from that expansion. Then we have the Awaken Gotenks, permanent. Your opponent's leader card can't attack your battle cards. That's a very interesting permanent there. I believe this guy spawns ghost tokens, so that could be relevant. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1. Activate main once per turn, pay a green. Choose one. Either choose one of your opponent's Unison cards and remove a marker from it, or choose one green card in your hand and discard it. If you do, play 2 ghost tokens. So right off the bat there, your ghost tokens are protected from being attacked, but so will your bigger fusions as we get through this. So we'll go over Vegeta in its own video. SS3 Vegito, Peerless Warrior. We have a 2-drop green 15k Unison auto. Once per turn, when you activate Union, draw 1 card. Activate main +2. Choose all of your mono green battle cards. They gain revenge until the start of your next turn. That's also really cool because now you get the protection from the leader and the protection from your opponent's battle cards. -7, activate main. If leader card's mono green, look at your opponent's life. Place 1 card among them in the drop area. Then your opponent shuffles their life, chooses 3 cards in their hand, and discards them. Wow, look at your opponent's life. It's kind of just funny that that's an effect that's in the game now, but it's such a strong effect, honestly, and for -7, it's probably pretty warranted, so seems like a very, very strong effect overall. We have the Broly we'll read with the Vegeta stuff. We have Great Saiyan Man, Vanquisher of Villainy. So this is one of those Paragus super combos that it seems like every color is probably going to get. Might bring monocolor super combos back into the limelight. Although, funny thing is these don't have any base combo power, so that could actually be a pretty big negative depending on what you're trying to play these in. Another piece of Vegeta support we'll read another time. We have Videl, a hero's daughter, 1-drop blocker. If you have a green Unison in play, one of these cards played, draw 1. Another very cool way to protect your Unisons. I talked about this in the red video. Basically, having these is really nice. This is actually going to probably be a mainstay staple in Dredge Goku if you guys continue to play that deck going forward. So you'll definitely want to pick up these Videls for sure. Going on to the next page here, we have a lot of Vegeta support. So SS3 Son Goku, 2 new extremes. We have a 4-drop 20k dual attack counterplay. If your leader card's green, you choose one of your Unison cards and remove a marker from it. Play this card. Then if the battle card being played has energy cost of 5 or less, it's placed in the owner's drop area instead of being played. Okay, a few interesting things with this card. So it's a counterplay. It costs 4 energy. You have to pay 4 energy for it, even though in the cost there's another cost for it, basically removing a Unison counter from a Unison. It's very similar to Topo. It's very similar to Toa Dimension Leaper in the sense that those are additional costs. You still have to pay the energy cost. It doesn't say, you know, kind of like SS4 Vegeta Primal Transformation or God Sealing Technique Trunks. This doesn't say that you can play it for free by doing this. Those cards specifically say that. This just says it's an additional cost. Your leader has to be green and you have to remove a marker from one of your Unisons, and you still have to pay 4 for it. So for me, that's very expensive, especially because of the fact that it only stops the play of a 5-drop or less. If it stops, you know, any battle card in the game, kind of like God Sealing Technique, I think this card would be a ton more playable. You know, it would kind of be like a UI Goku for green that actually stops the thing from being played no matter what energy cost it is. But the fact that it only stops 5 or less, I mean, I'm sure there will be formats where this card can definitely be useful. I just don't see it being great all the time, and in fact not most of the time, to be honest. Although I think there are some green Gokus that could potentially evolve on top of this. That could be something interesting. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that could be a thing potentially. So we have a 3-drop 30k Goku, very cool for skillless. We have a 2-drop 20k Gohan, once again, cool for skillless. We have a Gohan super combo, very simple, lives 4 or less, draw 1. Now here we go, we have Sun Goten, Bonds of Friendship. We have a 3-drop 15k critical, activate main, pay a green. If your leader card is a green Gotenks card and you discard the card from your hand, play or add to your hand up to 1 green Trunks Youth card with energy cost of 3 from your deck, then shuffle your deck. So pretty similar to the Gotenks and Trunkses we saw with the yellow Gotenks stuff. They kind of search each other out, right? So this Goten will fetch you any Trunks that you need. Pretty nice too that he's also a critical. I wonder if there's a way to play him onto the board pretty easily. Let's read the Trunks that goes with him. We have a 3-drop 15k activate main. If your leader card is a green Gotenks card and you discard this card from your hand, play or add to your hand up to 1 green Sun Goten with energy cost of 3 from your deck, then shuffle. Okay, so this for 1 energy does play the Goten we were just talking about. Auto, when this card is discarded from your hand by a Union skill, look up 7 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 green Unison with a specified cost of 2 among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So this will search that SS3 Vegito that we saw earlier, which is nice. And spoiler, we have, oh, here it is right now actually, 6-drop 19k SS Gotenks Friendship Fusion. This is our 1 energy fusion play. A lot of times you're going to want this on turn 1. So Union Fusion, pay a green for a Sun Goten and Trunks Youth. Permanent, if this card will be removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, you may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. So a couple things here. I love the fact that it's a turn 1 fusion. You know, now that we are not in such a multicolor format anymore, multicolor decks will still be pretty good. But now that we can afford to play non-multicolor energy turn 1, this being a turn 1 fusion for a 19k crit is pretty strong. But it also procs your Trunks to search the top 7 for the SS3 Vegeta Unison. You could also even search for the Bardock Paternal Unison if you really wanted to play it in your deck. That's definitely a thing you could do. So huge fan of that. SS3 Gotenks, all out assault. We have a 5-drop 30k, sorry. Deflect, double strike, EX evolve for 2 greens over a green Gotenks with energy cost of 3 or 6. And keep in mind the Gotenks we just read is a 6 cost. So what this does is you can also Union Fusion it actually by drawing a card and fusing with a green Goten and Trunks. Auto, if your leader card is green, when this card's played, choose one of your opponent's Unison cards, remove 2 markers from it, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. Another excellent fusion. The fact that this deck removes Unison markers so well and easily makes this another contender for a Unison Slayer deck. You know, at the moment we have Zamasu, Unison Slayer, just basically mono blue good stuff featuring an encouraging presence Manaka, giving leader double strike, dual attack with its own effect, and clearing markers that way. But this deck is full of effects that remove markers, so that's incredible. And that's really good because you can't just have like card effects that say send your opponent's Unison in the drop area. That would just be way too broken. So this is definitely way better off. Boo Boo Volleyball, 1-drop counter attack. If your leader's a green Gotenks card, negate the attack. You may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, add up to 1 green Sun Goten with 15,000 power and 1 green Trunks Youth with 15,000 power from your drop area to your hand. So almost like a power burst. Think about it this way. You're getting rid of 2 cards from your hand. You're getting rid of this negate and another card in your hand that you're discarding. And you're getting 2 cards back from the drop area. So you're stopping an attack and you're not losing any cards. That's actually incredibly good. So probably a mainstay negate for that deck. You know, it is unfortunate that it's not sparking. You know, Shocking Death Ball and Dormant Potential Unleashed will probably have their own places in the deck as well. But regardless, still quite good. Now, what I actually want to do is go back over to that Heroic expansion, and I want to show you guys the cards that are actually super old that still go with this Gotenks support. You know, the Anniversary Box stuff, we talked about it in a recent video. That stuff is very good. Again, Gokul and the Grim Reaper of Justice. Let's give a quick read to these older pieces of support. So 3-drop Unified Spirit Sun Goten. We have a 15k activate main. Return this card to the owner's hand. So that's if you play it to the field, for example. Auto, when this card attacks, look at the top 7 of your deck. Add a Trunks Youth to your hand with 15,000 power or less, then shuffle. We have Unified Spirit Trunks, 3-drop 15k. Once again, activate main, return it to the owner's hand. Auto, when this card attacks, reveal a Sun Goten from your hand. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 3 or less and KO it. So both these cards you actually put on the board on turn 1. And it's pretty cool actually that you can play this Trunks turn 1, attack with it, and pop like a pesky 1-drop your opponent has, like maybe a Basil or a Frieza Death's Embrace. That's quite good. Psyched Up Gotenks, one of my favorite cards in the game purely because of its art, and I am a big Gotenks fan, and I'm pretty excited I can potentially play this card in this deck coming up. So 6-drop 25k. We have Union Fusion for 4, Goten and Trunks, double strike, when you play this card, if you have a Goten and Trunks in your drop area, draw 2 cards. Well, that's the effect if you have the Goten in the drop area. Then if you have the Trunks, KO any one of your opponent's battle cards. So that's just, again, incredibly good. The old support, not bad. Like, this stuff that we just read is definitely not bad, but it definitely needed some stuff around it to make it a lot more playable. And that's what I really think we're getting out of this new green support for Gotenks. I think it's very, very good. I like the fact that it's another Unison Slayer deck. We don't really just want Unisons to kind of run rampantly, so the fact that we have a deck now that relatively easily answers Unisons, like, yeah, you'll still have your Xeno Unisons, yeah, you'll still have your Sin Shenron Unisons, a little bit tougher to remove, but now you're playing, you know, 2 drop 15k Unisons. Those are going to be much easier to deal with. So in my opinion, for the health of the game and the health of the format, I think it's a pretty cool deck, and I'm just super excited to play it. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about the Gotenks support. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. We're definitely going to be talking about Vegeta coming up very soon. I think he actually also will finally have a very strong leader. You know, a lot of people have been asking for a strong Vegeta leader for a long time. I think he's finally getting that. Guys, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.